Yes.
What?
And the Iceman.
Okay, why are we going to sleep for 8 months?
Oh, we gotta rescue some parcels in a derelict ship and secure some information in it. Also, we have to have our eyes open for a Model 6 Ava unit.
Yeah, we're going to sleep for 16 months to go and fix someone else's mistake. Business as usual.
I am back.
Under, I believe you're the captain, right?
Yes.
You should go ahead and name your character, and I believe Mick's character is your rival, so you can fill that in, and your buddy appears to be Yuri. Everybody else is already kind of picked, so...
Yeah.
Buddy is Yuri. Rival is Holt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, although...
how
Bishop's
serious
rival.
is our rivalry?
Every time I see you, my complexion changes. Every time I see you,
Your complexion changes?
like, oh shit, something's wrong. You need me for something. It's
When Holt
always
sees
me.
you, he turns black. No.
It's just being a little bit disagreeable.
You're not blood enemies. He's the coworker that you really just wish worked on a different ship.
Okay. So, not... Okay, I got it.
And
I'm not gonna be rebelling against your orders and such,
Right, and I'm also not going to just, order you to go to sleep and then sabotage your cryostasis.
Ideally, no.
I mean, no.
Well, that's why I was asking, how bad is this rivalry? Because it matters.
That would definitely negatively impact the mission. And I've already given these guys a synopsis of the mission, but a short version is you are a salvage crew. You've been contracted by Weyland-Yutani to go collect a vessel that has been left derelict. There are most of the ship has no life support, but there are a couple of cryopods that are hopefully still intact, and there is an Ava 6 android aboard, and they would like, survivors collected. They want their property back, so the android would be nice, and they would like the flight recorder as well.
So, the Ava 6 android, the flight recorder, and there was something else we wanted to get?
Survivors, if there are any, from the cryopods.
Okay. I don't know if you covered it, but what type of ship was this?
So Yuri has taken you... Go ahead.
I'm sorry if you already covered this, but what type of ship is it that we're going to there? Is this a warship? Is this an exploration vessel? A mining ship? Crew transport? Cargo vessel?
So, the...
the ship will bring it up.
Alright, so the ship was a... what do you call... It's an old model ship. It has a pretty large science module on it, but it's used for it's like a Weyland-Yutani vessel that they had been stripping out that was out of date and using for parts to help kind of speed along the construction of that outpost. There's a lot of repurposed parts with tech these days. As a matter of fact, Anchor Point Station is basically a retrofitted refinery that would normally be used planet side, but because it's normally towed through space, it was already space worthy, and they just plopped it down essentially.
Okay.
So this is a repurposed science vessel they had used uh, to move corporate resources to this outpost, which ended up failing, and the crew transferred to another vessel when life support went down on this one. And yeah, they left in the other vessel. At least most of them did.
All right. Thanks.
I'm not very familiar with the alien environment, but like, are digital logbooks a thing in this world?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
before we take off, just do a little standard check, write that in a logbook, and I think we're on the way to cryostasis, right?
Probably
I believe so.
after we've done our sweeps of our areas. I'm making sure the medical bay was stocked, and then I 8 months of sleep.
Indeed. Okay. So yeah, everything seems to be in order. The medical bay is stocked as you might suspect it would be, uh, and nothing seems to be out of place or problematic. More than normal, You guys are running a kind of a clunker of a ship on a limited budget, but everything seems to be, uh, in about the shape you'd expect it to be. Yeah, so you guys hunker down and get ready to go into cryo sleep. Everybody sort of slowly drifts off, uh, and it goes dark. And after some unknowable stretch of time, your cryopods open, and everybody very, very groggily begins to awaken.
Okay. I can't remember. Are computers in this timeline voice activated?
So,
We have Mother.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't
uh,
remember if that's like you guys call out like mother whatever.
so the computer typically, like, there's an intercom system. The computer can say things to you. It can give you alerts. Most communication with the computer is done via the mother terminal by the bridge. Uh, it will flash lights in certain rooms to indicate messages waiting for the crew or for one specific person. Colored lights to indicate who. Um, it will not really speak back to you, but it can understand what you're saying if you address it and speak out.
Okay, and there's a terminal in the cryo room, like some type of access point.
There are intercoms in every room, and yeah, the mother system can hear you. It might not be able to respond to you.
Okay. I look
And
around.
I will
Crew's all
say
accounted
it's
for.
not it's not a
Go ahead.
yes, your crew appears to be accounted for. I will say it's not like a true AI in this, like it doesn't have
It's not sentient.
well, it doesn't have any kind of personality. It's very limited in what it will do beyond its core functions. It's smart, but uh, yeah, it's got a very narrow scope.
Okay.
Can we get time?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. Is so I'd like to go to the mother terminal and get a situation report. So time, location, status of our ship, status of any ships around us.
All right. So yeah, uh, typically what you would do for that is you would, well, to get the time, you can do that right where you are. But for most of that, you're going to want to head to the bridge and actually check on that stuff. As far as the time, you can tell it has been 8 months, 7 days, 4 hours, 16 minutes.
All right, and where we expected to be, Yuri?
That was the total time that we had set aside for the trip. So
Right, the time has elapsed. I'm asking you to fix our position and make sure we're where we want it to be.
hey, Joe, what was the name of the planet we're supposed to be going to again?
We're supposed to be going to Kronos ship, right? The CSM.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was left adrift, and at the time it was left adrift, it was at LV-473, but
Yeah, in orbit at LV-473, which
they were
actually,
attempting to leave, and it went adrift. So you are not by LV-743. The ship drifted away from LV-743, and it was then picked back up by the network after a couple of years.
right. All right,
So
then
where the ship should have been after that time has elapsed.
yeah, well, I'll go to wherever the navigation computer or wherever our scanning equipment is for that, and see if I can pick up the Cronus.
Sure, I think that would be Comtech roll.
All right. Yeah, we don't have somebody else for that. Where is my?
That
I'm gonna look at
I can do comms.
Oh, we got the tech guy. All right, let's let the comms guy do that.
the printouts from the cryotubes. Make sure everybody stayed, healthy. But he got nothing.
I wanted to get coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm heading to the mid table too.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll go to the navigation computer and I'll just verify that our coordinates are what they were supposed to be.
One moment. All right. So we have had no successes on this roll. So you you go out groggily because you've just exited hypersleep, and you log onto your terminal, and you begin keying up and trying to figure out what your current coordinates are, and there's just nothing out here. There's nothing, and it really you can barely even you don't recognize the system or any of the neighboring systems. Pretty much nothing out here is named, and you you have no idea at all where you are.
Well, before we left, I would have had like a rough ballpark of where we're supposed to be in terms of coordinates. Am I able to tell where we are?
Is the computer able to tell me where I'm at, or is that the comms thing?
Yeah, well, like, what I'm asking is, would I have to roll in order to check that, or can the computer just tell me that?
The mother computer isn't going to tell you anything. You have to go in there and talk to the computer, and
Yeah.
if you can't tell, that's not really inside of the computer's purview.
All right. Well, maybe not the computer, but does the the cockpit or wherever I actually do the piloting from, I can see what our coordinates are from in there, can't I?
You can see them. It's the same thing he's going to see on his screen, and it's basically going to tell you that you are in the middle of nowhere near a bunch of. I mean, there's stars out there. There's systems, but nothing here seems to have been charted.
Right.
Could I run an algorithm with Mother, trying to get a better ballpark of where the derelict ship might have drifted off to? Like a simulation.
If you would like to communicate with Mother, you would have to you'd have to talk to the captain. He has the key to like he's the only person with the authorization to get in there.
Yeah, to
Right,
go
right.
in the mother's room. Yeah.
Oh, I'll show Captain. How do you say that name?
Arnis?
Arnis. Yeah, I'll show him what I see on the screen, and I don't got anything to work with.
All right, so we don't know where we are. Tell you what, we just woke up. What? Let's you guys get some coffee. We'll have an all hands in 10 and see what we can do about this.
Yes, sir.
All right, but the ship isn't blowing up, so that's something at least.
Okay,
And actually, I'll be right back. I need to grab some stuff.
fair enough.
Perfect. Actually, gonna have a coffee break in real life.
My coffee is cold.
Drink
The
coffee.
microwave is broken.
Ooh.
I know. Ooh, I just had a thought. You know what I could do while you're all taking a break? I could go make some hot chocolate and put uh and like use this little bit of cold coffee in my hot chocolate.
I'll be right back.
I will as well.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So what's going on? Com check?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
But everybody took a break when you took a break. So
Okay. Sorry, the alarm went off and I had to get the laundry out of the dryer. Because for some reason, work still insists I wear pants to work.
Foolish.
Well, I'll accept it, if only because then I don't need to see my coworkers without pants.
That is fair.
Is HR here?
He went to get coffee or hot chocolate or something.
Okay.
So who is Gilbert? And if he's got a pre-made character, which one is he?
He's the corporate rep.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's the corporate guy. That's right.
Did his cryotube malfunction?
Unfortunately, no. You have no love for corporate.
No, the engineer's cryotube malfunctioned, though.
We lost the engineer.
They lost the engineer.
Yeah, CC made a character and then left like 10 minutes into the session.
Yeah, she had to go.
Oof.
Yeah, it happens.
I could make my rival the Gilbert's character.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, that's everybody but AGR, and I think he's making chocolate cocoa.
A splash of coffee.
So what does it mean if one of my skills is blank? I don't know if AGR covered that with you guys.
You can roll it, but I don't think you can push it. And it just means that you only roll the associated stat number of dice. You don't get to add the skill.
Like the raw attribute score, that's how many dice you roll.
Yeah.
Got it. What's considered a success on the dice roll?
A 6.
Okay, 6s only?
I rolled 3 5s there. None of those were successes.
Okay. Do ones matter?
Yes,
Ones
they do.
matter for stress dice.
I'm back. I have hot chocolate.
Welcome back.
Don't tell anybody, but my hot chocolate is secretly about 1/3 coffee.
Your secret's safe with us. And also anyone who listens to the recording.
That's good.
We got everyone here?
Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Ah, look. Very good.
Hey.
That is now everyone.
God damn it.
The company man is here.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, thank you for calling Wayland Yutani Customer Service. How may I help you this evening?
Yeah, we got a derelict ship. We got a couple of people missing in action and a robot we need to retrieve.
Also, we're lost.
Yeah, but we came out of Cryoslave in the
We're
wrong
not
place.
lost. It's just we have no idea where the hell the ship is that we need to get to.
We're not in the right place, are we?
That was my question. I didn't ask whether the other ship was here yet. I'm just more concerned. Are we where we meant to be?
Yeah, we're there. Right,
Okay.
AGR? I think coordinates are easy enough to check. That's just an auto thing.
So, all right, let's
So
get back into character here.
yeah. So
Okay.
I had previously told everyone, all right, we're still a little groggy. Take 10, get some coffee. We'll have an all hands in the mess.
Okay, you guys go to the mess and have some coffee. By the way, the only thing on the ship that is free. The food is garbage, and you have to pay for it. The coffee is delicious and free.
Excellent.
Yes, excellent.
I'm sure they put something horrible in it, but I drink it anyway.
Me too. I get a cup.
It's one of the it's considered one of the perks of working for Wayland Yutani because they have the like by a wide margin the best coffee around.
I'm going to point that out as I get a cup. You know, I could be working in a hospital, but I'd miss out on all this great coffee.
You'll get a laugh out of me. A cynical laugh, but a laugh.
Because you know I hate working for the company.
Yep. And it's sad that the best thing for the company is this coffee, but
Okay, so you all have your coffee, and nothing bursts out of anyone's chest.
Yet.
Why would anything burst out of anybody's chest?
I think it's symbolic for the excitement that we can't possibly contain during our jobs.
Another glorious day in the company.
Corporate liaison David is gonna take note of what Holt just said. I'm gonna write that down.
I said that in the most flat and still resting bitch face impression I could, because I'm still waking up from cryostasis.
Company liaison David notes that as well.
Hey, Hoyt, you want to go halves in on some of this so-called food?
Oh god, this shrimp is spicy.
I just imagine that he like ate some like the like really shitty like microwave dinner shrimp that's in the mess.
Check the expiration date on that thing.
No, it's the plate was left out for me. It's really spicy. Oh my god. I'll be right back.
Oh, take your time, David.
No, Gilbert. I'm gonna be back a little bit.
You did, Gilbert. We're talking about the shrimp David ate.
I'm looking at Yuri. I'm like, I didn't say anything. Guys.
Don't worry, I made sure not to eat it. I knew it was your favorite.
I mean, maybe he'll get sick.
He'll be fine. He's a man of strong constitution. Start slouching a bit. So, AGR, I'm not completely clear. We know where we're at in terms of coordinates. We have no idea where the ship that we're supposed to, enter is at. Am I understanding that correctly?
I will be with you momentarily.
Okay, doke. Well, Arnis, am I saying that right?
I'm not there.
Ah.
I told you guys to get some coffee. I already had a cup.
I'm gonna grab some cereal too.
Yeah, I told you guys I would be there in 10 minutes.
Alright guys, I'm back. Okay, whatever spice was on the shrimp, milk does thankfully help. I feel like I just stuck like burning coals in my mouth. What did I miss?
Breakfast.
And there's one more thing. I'll be just 1 second.
Alright, so we... Can you guys give me the rundown of what's happening again?
Okay. We're a contracted salvage crew sent out into the black because a ship that had gone missing a while back has reappeared on scanners, and we were targeting, making rendezvous with it to salvage, any survivors, company assets, things like that, and then return. Pretty straightforward. And if possible, to also bring the ship back to Anchor Point with our little salvaging tug here. We've been asleep for 8 months, 7 days, and some odd whatever. Yeah, and then first thing before I let anyone get coffee, I brushed a couple people into the bridge just to make sure the ship wasn't about to blow up after being asleep for 8 months. And I told them I'd be there in 10 minutes, for an all hands.
What's the name of the ship?
It is the Escortial.
I mean the one that we're supposed to salvage.
The
Crows.
The Nostromo.
No, not the Nostromo.
No, that blew up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
You are
supposed to
ship.
salvage the.
You
Yeah.
are ship. My brain.
Yeah, you're supposed to salvage the Nostromo. You know, it's a little bit over here, a little bit over there. Most of it's been atomized.
All right.
Yeah, I've heard rumors it was sabotaged.
Yeah, by their own ship's crew. Yeah, they tore it apart for spare parts, apparently. That's what the controversy was about.
Indeed.
Blank, but yeah.
All right. So it's about this time that I walk into the mess.
Yep, it was an attempt at insurance fraud.
Oh, no. I think they're trying to supplement some outposts by scavenging the ship itself for scrap parts. That is what was vaguely
Well, you know,
conveyed, right?
they can't afford anything nice.
Oh, they can afford it, just we can't. That's why we're on this ship. At least we got decent coffee. I'm like pouring myself a cup.
You hear a something pop and a bolt drop on the floor.
That same goddamn bolt to the right. Like what is it? Like
Don't-
right to the right. It's always that fucking bolt. Hang
Yes.
on. Where's that fucking wrench? I got one handy right by the files I got.
Engineer
Okay.
is about as useless as the company. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's funny. The engineer conveniently left before the mission started.
What?
Well-
Another bolt pops out.
You said you would NPC them, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, god damn it!
All right. So everyone's got some coffee. Great. So let's get this all hands started. Looks like we're where we meant to be, and the right amount of time has elapsed.
Oh, Sleuth is here. Wait a minute. Sleuth, are you here?
I am. I got done faster than I thought.
You can be the engineer. I'll give you the sheet. Continue, Hunter.
Okay. So, right, AGR Holt did show me Corn saying that we basically showed up where we meant to be.
You are in fact at the coordinates you were given.
Okay. So ship should be around here somewhere. We'll Holt, you'll probably have to run some scans and whatnot to see if you can ping it anywhere. And when we do, and we'll have to see about doing an assessment on it. Holt, I'm afraid you're going to have to run that as well. And we'll have to figure out when and where we can make contact with it. There shouldn't be anybody on board. They said they abandoned it when they left off, but there's always a chance that one or two people were left on board and put themselves into cryosleep. Bishop, if there is any, they'll have to probably go through medical, quarantine, and all that.
Yep. Speaking of which,
You would know. Under would know this, right? About corporate liaison Lori Clayton and Daniel Cooper, along with the Ava 6 model.
Okay, so
I
we
think
know that there were people on board when it got set
oh,
adrift?
yeah, those were the people that were supposed to be in cryosleep. Two
There
people
were-
and the
there were
robot
two
watching.
names. There were two names of people that were put in cryosleep who may or may not still be alive.
Okay. All right.
Probably.
So,
But-
yeah. So when we make an assessment of the ship, we'll have to see about that. Bishop, that'll be your responsibility, handling the cryo people.
Roger that, Cap.
David, this is a company ship. I assume you have credentials to access the flight recorder on it, assuming it's intact.
AGR, do I have those things?
Good.
Yes, I do have the things.
Well, you're going to need to go and pull that, find out if the android is still up and running, and if it is, we'll have to take custody of it.
Whoa, AGR.
Flight recorder should also list if they found anything else that we need to secure before towing the ship. Questions?
No questions, Captain, but I would request that I take time to give each member of the crew a once over. from cryo sleep?
Sure, we need Holt up first for the scanning, so do him first, and then after that, your discretion.
All right. I'm gonna get up with my coffee and head towards the med bay. Come on, Holt. Let's get this over with.
All right. Now I'll be finishing this cereal I got in a cup. And it's like a paper cup, so I just throw it away. Plastic spoon too. Yep. And so I go.
I'm just gonna give him a once over. Check his vitals, make sure all he's cognitive, and about 10 minutes all total, just to make sure nobody's, yeah. But he's got space madness.
Miss in my veins, oh God. I'm pretty sure everything checks out, right?
AGR.
I cannot type and listen at the same time. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're sorry. We didn't know you were typing.
Well, my ears turned off, so I couldn't warn you. I'm sorry. You were saying.
Mister just gonna make sure that nothing
Yeah,
horrible is happening to me medically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give
Okay.
everybody a once over. Start with Holt because he has to have a mission that the captain gave him to do. Just like 10 minutes. Make sure he's cognitive
All
and
right.
everything.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a medical aid check, and we'll just do one for the group.
Add my medical aid and my empathy dice together.
Empathy
Goes.
plus medical aid dice. Yes.
Okay.
You're looking for 6s, and you can ignore any 1s.
The Saturday's bad luck is trailing off a bit.
I know.
We have bad luck with dice pool systems.
I know, right?
Is that going to be a false positive AGR?
I'm gonna look at you. Well, you look all right, but you are pregnant.
I wonder.
Oh yeah. Bursting
Oh, no,
with
he's pregnant.
enthusiasm for this job. Yes, I am ready to deliver.
I should use Slashbot.
Okay. So yeah. You have a bad time with this. You have a bad time with this, and the doctor is absolutely convinced that he has to do a lot of invasive examinations, which are incredibly unpleasant and will likely involve some probing. So
Turn your head and cough is just a start.
literally nobody has a good time.
I'm sorry. I apologize, Holt, but these readings were saying one thing. I just had to be sure. We won't speak of this again.
Yeah, I know. These goddamn machines they give us. It's fine.
Right. That was horrifying. I'm gonna need another cup of coffee and to sit in my room for a little bit on that one.
Ugh. You both gain 1 point of stress.
Oh, of course. All right. So I'm looking for things. I'm pinging for the ship.
Yeah, you are pinging for the ship. Go ahead and make a contact roll.
Actually, did the dossier they gave us, the synopsis on what to do, did it also give us a rough indication? Wait, it's this place. Never mind. Okay, yeah. So, contact roll.
Mhm.
So, how do stress dice work?
It's an extra die that you will roll separately. and you don't want it to be a 1. Okay. So you succeed. Um, and yeah, you succeed bigly. That's how that goes, right? Uh, yeah, 2 successes. So normally that means you can like show off a little. There's like I don't know. There's a chart of extras for that stuff. We can look over if you'd like, but you figure it out.
Okay.
So
I'd like
uh,
to make the travel to there a bit more navigable for Yuri.
all right. So here's the deal. What you figure out is that uh, the beacon was set assuming a constant travel speed, right? But it's possible that the vessel was not moving at a constant pace. And with a small amount of additional effort, uh, you have looked through some of the local readings and you found that nothing has passed through this area as of yet. So it is likely that the ship has not reached this point because its velocity has slowed uh, since the last sighting of the vessel.
When you wouldn't expect that because of, lack of gravity, right?
That's a strange it's a strange change, but you're pretty sure that that's what happened.
Okay. I'll just do a little quick double check, and after that, I'll give my reports to the captain and Yuri.
All right. So how long till he gets here?
AGR.
Uh, about 6 weeks.
Yeah, I'll say 6 weeks. About 6 weeks.
AGR in the universe, I'm not sure. How are these ships powered? Like, what are we burning fuel to move the ship?
You have like a nuclear uh, reactor. Uh, in like a technical sense, you're burning fuel, but you have substantially more than you would need for a trip of this.
It's an inexhaustible power source, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Unless we're doing
well,
some
not
really weird shit.
not inexhaustible, but on the scales of things you're doing, it is unlikely to be exhausted.
Six weeks, huh? Yuri, if we were to instead of waiting here for it to come up here, if we were to go to it, would we be able to, shorten that time? How fast is the ship going? Holt.
We could potentially shorten the time. The problem is it's still going to take a while, and if we wake up and then miss them, we're going to be in an even worse situation.
Well, it's slowing. That's what I can tell for sure. Would be about 6 weeks, but
It's currently decelerating. That's what you're telling me?
sir, I double check.
Where is it going to come to a stop?
I didn't check that. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah, find out what this is decelerating towards. Usually ships like that, if they're adrift, they would just keep going at a constant velocity. Isaac Newton's the most dangerous son of a bitch in space and all that. So if it's decelerating, it was set to decelerate. And usually you only do that when you're trying to do something like enter orbit, come to a stop, make a rendezvous, something like that. So I want to know where would its velocity be? Near zero? Is it looking like if this is a trajectory that's going to, put it in orbit around a planet or something? Yuri, you might want to help him with that for some of the nav stuff.
How does helping work with that?
I don't know, but we can find out.
The questions. Is it going in an arc? Is it going towards a planet?
I think honestly, your previous role was enough of a success for me to just tell you this. Honestly, um, so what is likely to have happened is that the ship had a single velocity adjustment. Not that it is gradually slowing, but it decelerated to some degree and then maintained that new velocity.
Is it headed to anything? Like a planet? Basically,
It's headed to you in about 6 weeks.
So it looks like when people help you, it adds a modifier to the roll, which is in the difficulty section.
Okay.
Okay, but so it's going at constant velocity, just a slower velocity than we originally expected. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I misunderstood what AGR said.
Yes, it should likely be going at a constant velocity, just a lower constant velocity than what.
Yuri, relative to our ship's like cruising speed, how fast is the ship going? Like if we were to fly towards it and we flip around and start trying to match its speed to rendezvous with it earlier, would doing so be a problem?
That's a good question. Do I know that? I mean,
You can make a piloting check.
all right.
Yeah. You know that it's drifting at a speed much lower than your like maximum cruising velocity. So uh, for that thing needs 6 weeks, you guys could, you could definitely cut that time down to, less than a week, 4 days.
All right. Well, if that's the plan the captain has decided on, then I'll set us up for a rendezvous with the ship, and then determine how long it'll take us to get there.
Who's our quartermaster? Is that just an NPC?
We have a second officer.
You have a very small crew. You have yourself as the captain. Spook is playing as your warrant officer, your second officer in command. You have your technician is Holt. You have your engineer is Jocelyn, it looks like. And you have a corporate liaison named David.
All right. All right. So
And Yuri.
Spook,
Doctor.
do we have enough supplies on board for an additional 4 days? Is that going to be a problem with us?
Do we have enough supplies on board for an additional 4 days?
Because I totally would have.
Okay, you would know
call it,
that they sell. They literally have vending machines on the ship. They are selling stuff to you for you to eat. If you want cereal, you have to buy it, and they stock that stuff well more than what you need on the mission because they want you to buy it.
So we should have the supplies now.
As long as it's not food goop.
It is. I mean, it's not good. There's cereal and there's like some simple pasta like they got like stir fry and
It's not a grayish gelatinous blob. It'll be fine.
Okay.
tastes
Yeah,
like a
I wasn't
grape.
sure if it was just like we only had a fixed amount of supplies on board and we were burning it every day we're awake. So just want to make sure that we're not going to run out of supplies. If we just burn the 4 days to go there.
You have a fixed amount of supplies,
But it's
but
really big.
4 days is yeah, you're not likely unless you're stranded for a year to run out of food or water.
Okay. All right, then Yuri, put us on an intercept path, best speed.
All right, I'll take care of it. Also, Holt, you might want to. Oh, shit, I can't keep fucking doing this voice. It's harder than I thought. Holt, you might want to ask Mother to keep her scanners on and see if they show up, and wake us up if they do.
Oh, we're not going to sleep.
It's gonna take a few weeks, or we're just gonna sit here.
It's going to take 4 days.
4 days.
4 days? Oh shit, I forgot that part. Yeah, okay.
You can cruise for 6 weeks and put everyone to sleep if you want. That'll definitely,
No, that would not be good. 4 days. Okay.
Okay.
Hole, just make sure you
So
keep
what do
an
you-
eye on the ship or target vessel there. Make sure it doesn't have any more sudden velocity adjustments. Jocelyn, another bolt like falls out probably on the ceiling. Let's see if you can keep the
that
ship from
box.
falling apart.
Alright. Now I'll go find my wrench.
Ugh.
All right. You're looking
Might
for your
have
wrench.
borrowed your wrench. Let me grab it. I don't have to have my files.
I was 100% going to make him make an observation roll for that wrench, but okay. You saved him.
There you go. I'm not a dick.
Yeah, that's me.
Sometimes I ask myself, am I getting enough coffee for this job? The answer
It's
is always no. Yet here I am. I'll get to work.
Wait, they put something in the coffee. Yeah, I'll go ahead and jot down the current velocity of the ship that we're headed towards. Make a note of it.
All right.
Actually, put it all in my personal logs.
It's really an estimate, but you should be fine.
As long as I got a threshold to work with.
Okay. So yeah, what else do you guys do? You got 4 days to kill. You do anything fancy? Do anything fun?
I'm going to promote synergy.
Oh, Spook, what do you think? Fire drill? I'm thinking fire drill.
I agree.
Second day, surprise unannounced fire drill.
Wah, wah. Okay.
Oh, we sleep in those like very claustrophobic, like little.
Yeah.
All right. I would like command rolls from. Let's get a command roll from the captain then. Okay. Yeah, your fire drill happens, and you do not incite a panic, and it seems like everybody knows how to get to the escape shuttle, which is on a deck that I haven't actually mapped, or I have mapped, but I haven't given you the map for. So let's give you the map for it.
The stairs.
So here are decks A, B, and C. On deck C, there is a small escape vehicle, which contains 3 cryopods.
What kind of
And
fucking sick joke is that?
It's corporate. What'd you expect?
I mean, some of us are supposed to spy for the ship. You know, the corporate guy
so
thing. The captain gets one, and all the rest of us fuckers are supposed to die here.
So having done the math, corporate had basically decided that it is unlikely that there would be a catastrophic failure that could not be repaired if there were more than three crew members left. So at the
And
point
yet
where
here we are trying to rescue a
Yep.
derelict.
Indeed, the numbers were run. Such a situation would never occur.
It's a calculated risk, but I'm pretty
Unlike
sure
the
they're bad at
Titanic,
math.
unlike the
It's their
Titanic,
calculation
these
and your
ships are
risk.
unsinkable.
Anyway. So yeah, there you go. What's also not shown here, if you look at the rear junction, the ladder that goes between decks 1, 2, or A, B, and C, at that junction you can actually also go up. There's a hatch that will lead into the ship's umbilical, which is used for like docking and towing. There's another airlock which you typically use in the front of the ship on B deck, and that's used for if you need to dock with the ship, but you're not trying to tow it. Maybe they've already got something, on their umbilical. Maybe they're towing something or being towed already, or you're docking with a station that doesn't have another access. That's a walk off, and it's like a gantry. It extends, and there's also an elevator on C deck if you land somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, you do a fire drill. You're pretty sure everybody knows the layout of the ship well enough to not die in a fire, and they know how to seal the doors to slow the spread of fire, right? Right, guys?
Yeah. We'd have learned how to do that, wouldn't we? They would have taught us how to do that.
There's a button next to the door, and it's red, and when you press it, the door closes.
Okay, well then that's simple.
And if you press the white button, the door opens.
Ah,
Okay, so yeah, you do your fire drill, your 4 days pass, and actually at about the end of the maybe 20 minutes after the fire drill, let's say, uh, you get a um, like a yellow light flashing. Every room has this light, a yellow light flashing, indicating that Mother has a message for the command staff.
the company is calling.
Okay, well, I go to Mother and I retrieve the message. Okay, I go back. Looks like Mother thinks the ship's in range. Holt, Yuri, bring it up.
All right, I'll. Well, I guess the first thing to do is to actually pick it up on the scanner so that I know where it is,
Okay.
or to get Holt to do that.
Well, it's actually already been picked up. Mother has detected the beacon, but it is very weak, which is why the range seems to be very short. It'll still take you a little more than a day to get there, but it's definitely on sensors.
All right, I'll adjust our course for an approach.
Are handheld games a thing in this world?
Yes, but think like
That's true.
oversight, like Game Boy Color. The games are more, or Game Boy, like old school Game Boy, not Color. Prior to Game Boy Color, size in bulk, right? The games themselves, uh, fancier games than Tetris. Displays look like Tetris.
If I'm in recreation, would I be able to get rid of
Yeah.
these levels? Yeah.
Yes, you can get rid of your level of stress by spending this time in recreation. That is an excellent idea.
Yeah, the doctor should probably also be recreating.
Wait, have we
Mr.
gained
Memo.
any stress yet?
Oh, me and the doctor did.
Oh yeah, you did.
There was
From
a
the-
false positive, like, really bad. Like 3 fucking times. The margin of error on that is so unlikely. So he insisted. I'm not gonna bother going into detail. But everything's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. So yeah, your day of recreation goes just fine. You lose your point of stress, and yeah, you guys arrive, and you can see out of the bridge viewport that the Kronos is sort of drifting lazily, and there are no running lights at all.
Is
It's
Jocelyn with us up in
illuminated
the
by your,
bridge?
presumably not, unless you've summoned.
All right, I page Jocelyn to the bridge.
I will go up to the bridge and hope that nothing falls apart while I'm gone.
Yuri,
Clank.
At least nothing important.
Yeah, Yuri, the ship. Does the ship have like a spotlight or something to highlight the ship that we're looking at?
If this is a salvage ship, I would assume it does. Like a light of some kind.
It's floodlights, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Can you turn those on? And when Jocelyn gets up here, let's run, fore to aft on this ship. Let's see what kind of state it's in. Jocelyn can advise us if looks like we're going to need pressure suits or what.
I copy that. I'll have a look at it. And then I run the floodlights fore to aft. I assume you're radioing me from the bridge while I'm up in the cockpit, or is the bridge in the cockpit?
The bridge is the cockpit.
Nice.
I'm looking at one of the ports.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's see if I can get you guys an image of the ship, if there's anything here I could use.
Say, on a scale to 10, how borked is the ship?
That's why I asked Engineer Jocelyn to come take a look at it. How borked is the ship?
I really like that the standard issue service rifle can jam just because it has a full magazine.
Take one
So
bullet out.
With the floodlights illuminating it, it does look like the ship has sustained some severe engine damage, but the superstructure itself appears to be sound.
Last we were told that the life systems failed or were failing. That was 8 months ago or so. I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that they're just not functioning at all now.
All right. Spook, why don't you get together an away team? You're going to need the doctor, David. Should probably take Jocelyn with you. See about getting life support back up on that ship, and Doctor and David can accomplish their objectives.
I'm gonna get some coffee to go first. Can we tell why the engines failed from here?
All right, let's see. Why don't you make an observation roll?
Observation. Oh boy.
Oh, could I speculate? I would like to speculate as well. This is my way of saying that
Sure.
I have a 6 in the score. I'm not sure what your score is, but
Not a 6.
I will consider that to be you helping.
How does helping work?
Don't worry about it. You roll. It's adjusts the difficulty. Okay.
oh,
Okay. So you're pretty sure they were attacked by pirates. There seem to be blast marks. You've seen pirates attack ships like this before. They take out the engines. They board, and uh, they just kill anybody they see and make a beeline for the valuables. So you're pretty sure the ship's probably already had anything of value stripped, and you're basically completely convinced that you're gonna end up making like no money because you're gonna drag this thing back empty, and everybody's gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna get more coffee to go.
I'm here.
All right.
Camel pack of coffee inside of the spacesuit.
Yeah. So
Only one?
Yeah. So we have 5 spacesuits, right?
You have what?
We have 5 spacesuits.
You have 5 spacesuits.
All right. So it's one for the Doctor, David, Jocelyn, Spooks. Leave us one spare. I'm also gonna open up the armory since he mentioned that there's pirates on board. I'm gonna give Spook one of the bolt guns just in case while he's leading the UA
Alright.
mission.
I'd also recommend some hardware to open some doors. You never know; some might have malfunctioned or something. I'm sure that a junker ship that we got.
Yeah, if Jocelyn wants to take one of the cutting torch, yeah.
Uh,
I got my medical bag.
I will absolutely take another torch. Do I have a thwacking wrench? Some big pipe wrench that would count as a weapon if I needed it to.
You can have a wrench, sure.
Wonderful.
Holt, I want you to stay on board the our ship. Keep an eye on those scanners. If there are pirates in the area, I want to know about it before they get here.
Sure, Eagle's Eye.
Can he get an interior scan of the ship from here?
Yeah, you can scan the interior of the ship.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. You should do that, Holt.
Can't do
Why
like
don't
a
he,
full
why don't he
scan,
do
but
that? I'll
you can
keep lookout.
you can get basic information for sure. All right. Yeah, that's Comtech. All right. Well, it's cold inside. Very cold, and the readouts look like the oxygen levels are basically immediately it's lethally low. You'll be suffocating in there,
Among
and
other things.
that's if you don't freeze.
Lovely day in the company.
Yep, snafu what we expected.
The suits are, they'll protect you from that, but as of right now, yeah, that's no good.
So, how do we evacuate the people in the cryostasis pods, assuming they're alive safely in a no oxygen environment?
Well, I've got.
Fix life support? Or
Yeah.
move the cryopods into our ship?
Yeah. Can you power them down like that to move them?
If you power down the cryopods, actually,
Yeah, expect
no,
us to.
I'll assume you guys know if you power down the cryopods completely and they have no access to power, because that would be lethal uh, over like a fairly short span of time. They're gonna have like an emergency unlock, and if you do that without like proper shutdown procedures, it's going to be very bad for the person inside. I mean, it's better than just dying, but there is actually a risk that that's going to be so hard on their system that they'll die. That happens sometimes.
Don't wake them up in a low atmosphere environment. Don't wake them up suddenly. I mean, first priority, let's figure out if their survivors are alive. If they're not alive, then the whole question's moot. Second, figure out if we can bring life support on the ship back up. If we can just bring life support back up and wake them up normally. No fuss, no muss. If life support's down, can we seal up the cryo room for.
Pump oxygen into the cryo tanks.
Well, it's more if we can stabilize just the one room, we can just bring in pull part of the away team bag, slip out of a couple suits, put a couple suits in there, wake them up, have you in there, doctor, obviously, get them in the suits, and then just walk them back to our ship. We got ways of dealing with this. Absolute worst case scenario, we got cutting torches. We can cut a path to our ship and just pull the whole damn unit here with backup power, like battery pack strapped to the thing. So, but first let's establish that first question: are they alive? Jocelyn, while he's doing that, you should be figuring out whether or not life support's up. David, you're on the corporate objectives, and over there, Spook will be in command.
All right, let's get this over with.
Okay. So just for clarity, I would like those of you suiting up to go ahead and give me your marching order as you venture out of the ship. I assume you're going to use the main docking airlock on deck B, and because that lets you leave in suits, it's hard to go up and down and through like the vents and the ladders and stuff to get up through the umbilical that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely not going first.
Fuck it, I'll go first.
Come on, where's that team spirit?
I'll go first.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm not qualified to open up hatches.
Jocelyn and then who?
The doctor.
It's opening a hatch, it's not brain surgery. If you
And
can't push a
then-
button, just pull the
I'll
door
go
open.
third.
Wait, the doctor
Good old
wants to
Whalen
go last.
Yutani.
Doctor
15
wants to
feet
go
behind you, all the way.
The doctor's already second.
Yeah, but that's what I thought that Spook was going first. The guy with the gun.
That'd
I want to go before the guy with the gun.
be nice. Is that your marching order?
No, I do not want to go second. I want to go last, behind the man with the gun.
Okay. You can trail behind. That's fine.
Yeah.
As for standing 15 feet behind, that has nothing to do with cowardice. That has to do with minimum safe distance.
Minimum safe
Is that right?
distance is out of the line of fire of the guy behind you with the gun.
Precisely. According to our actuaries, 15 feet is the best distance to avoid incidences of spontaneous combustion, overloading power conduits, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, live leak video shit.
That doesn't help you when the guy with the gun is behind you.
Wait, why is the guy with the gun behind me? No, you go in front of me.
Ask him. I don't know.
I mean, he's in command of the away team, so I imagine you're in whatever order he tells you to be in.
That's a fair point.
And he's got a gun.
Corporate guy in there second. Yeah, that works for me.
Luke, if you'd like to adjust that marching order, that is fine. Just let me know.
No, that should be fine.
Okay. You
All
heard it.
right. David will be right behind Jocelyn, promoting synergy.
All right.
Can you go promote synergy quietly or somewhere else?
All right. Corporate liaison David will redirect some of that workflow to direct synergy behind him.
Oh, fucking god damn it. All right. Yeah. So let's see. You venture down the gantry into the airlock. The airlock cycles, and the door opens. The other side, it is pitch black, and there are like ice crystals floating in the air and like hitting your helmet.
Do we have flashlights? Or did corporate determine that we don't need flashlights for every member in the group?
You do have flashlights attached to your helmets, yes.
I'd like
On
to
the
turn
list
on my
of things
flashlight.
that are good, this is not up there.
Nonsense. What's the worst that can happen?
You see these little bits of ice? If the wrong one comes your way, it will puncture your suit.
Now, we're listening to all their comms on the bridge, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You actually have a camera feed from every suit.
Excellent.
Oh, great! So you could watch us
It's a little fuzzy.
Pure blackmail material.
Like 480p fuzzy or Discord with not great
Like-
bandwidth fuzzy.
like 360p. Actually, it's more like the the resolution's 480, but the signal's not so good. Maybe you need to adjust the rabbit ears a little.
So what we're saying is that visual quality is just bad enough that they'll have to pull up the recordings and get a really lucky freeze frame to determine what killed us.
Exactly.
Freeze frame, enlarge, enhance image.
Mother, enhance, 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 and at that point it goes into 4K Ultra HD.
All right.
Well, are we supposed to split up at this point?
So you've cycled through your airlock and you've reached their outer airlock door. That has opened, but the inner airlock door is still sealed.
Is there a way to cycle the airlock from inside the airlock?
One might suspect that there is, in fact, a way to cycle the airlock from inside the airlock. So the ship is running on minimal power, and the airlock, like the outer door, you were able to basically when you link up, it gives you access to that door, and you were able to open it. This inner door here, you're probably going to have to do something about manually. Yeah.
Does our ship have enough energy to power this ship? And is there a way to get energy from our ship to this ship? Just for maybe an hour or two to search everything?
Make a heavy machinery roll.
Ah, boy. Wonderful. I will ask the captain's permission before I hook anything up to this derelict ship.
This is just to find out. Okay, with one success, you have found out. So the amount of power you can supply to this other ship just via this like gantry hookup point it would possibly, with some tweaking, be enough to cycle the airlock and potentially give you localized power to the deck you're hooked up to, and only probably enough to like run emergency lights. You really don't have access to any systems, so that would be janky and might blow some lights.
If we're blowing lights on the derelict ship, that's fine. But would it damage our ship?
Unlikely, unless there is something going on with the electrical grid in the other ship that you don't know about.
Alright, I'll go ahead and shelf that idea until we can take a closer look. Alright, then if this airlock is sealed off and we're not connected to space anymore, I will prop open the inside airlock.
All right, I think that might just be a like a strength roll, because you're trying to manually uh override
But
the
it's
airlock
a
grid.
heavy door, right? And it has machinery in it. Sorry.
I should have brought my crowbar. Hey, I am going to push that roll.
Okay. Okay.
Mission accomplished.
You feeling a little stressed though? That's
Oh man, I need a Darkest Dungeon stress symbol. I'm gonna find that.
that
Be
should
using that a
really
lot.
be one of our reactions. Anyway, yeah. So you you open up the panel on the side, and there is a like an override lever, and it is not easy, but with a great deal of levering, and then once it gets about halfway down, some stomping, you are able to get the seal to break, and there is you know a bit of uh, there's a bit of a hiss, but maybe not quite as much as you would hope, and yeah, it's more dark in there. Not a lot you can see. There's actually a uh, sort of a haze in here. Not like the one in the channel, but like a um, it's like there's smoke in this room that's just been hanging in the air.
On the list of things that are good, this is also not up there. Can I tell what this haze is?
Make an observation roll.
This blood that's congealed in the air.
Okay, with one success, it appears you have disturbed something which was growing on the door, uh, and had like frozen on there. And so when you open the door, the ice broke, and it's like I don't know, some kind of little pods, and there's like these little motes of dust floating in the air that came out of these little like some kind of fungus.
Hmm. A ship that has no.
I mean, they were frozen until he breached the seal, and the ice broke off, and they broke
Holt,
open.
what did you say the atmosphere inside the ship was like?
Gold was an AGR?
It's cold. It's very cold in there.
Right, but you also said it was dangerously low oxygen. What's making up the remainder? If not oxygen, what's is it? Is it mostly nitrogen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide? What gas are we looking at in there?
Gas of human decomposition?
Methane.
Yeah, there's a lot of nitrogen. There are uh, there is a dangerous level of carbon monoxide, uh, but there's nothing you wouldn't suspect would be in there that's like being picked up like from a. There's nothing you wouldn't suspect as a salvage crew from a ship that's been just adrift a long time being picked up as like a major atmospheric component.
Right.
Okay.
So I'd like to radio Spook and say, might want to make sure you bring back some samples of that, just in case.
I will relay that to whoever our med sci geek is.
It would be me, the doctor. I'll start collecting some of that chunks of that stuff into tubes.
Okay, so be it. You can just kind of waft a couple of tubes through the air and collect some of this weird, like black dust. Yeah, no problem.
All right,
Uh,
cool.
So you
is
get
there
2 bowls of it.
is there a standardized decontamination procedure for this type of thing? Or is it
So,
just we find strange ship mold and we bring it onto our ship?
well, I mean, you're gonna end up having to go through a quarantine period now. Uh, you do with every one of these. If the ship's been left, but especially if you if you register that you've got this stuff, um, they're gonna end up quarantining you for some amount of time. If you don't tell anybody, sometimes you can sneak through with that stuff. But and people do that, but and the company might even prefer you do that, but it's
You know what this
usually
stuff is beforehand? Like if we encountered it before?
Yeah, it's ship mold. The ship's past its expiration date.
I
When
mean,
it's
you have
spoiled in the freezer.
you have encountered weird things growing in ships before. I mean,
the ship's been
it,
derelict. It's entirely likely there's going to be mold and mildew. If there's any kind of humidity.
I mean, they were on like, they had an outpost on an alien world. They were bringing things on and off. So
Oh,
Regular Earth mold. I know that much. That
Do
shit ain't
we
going oxygen.
do
just
we
track.
know how strong the pressure inside the ship is? Is it like a livable atmosphere if the air is clean enough?
Uh, so you would know the O2 scrubbers are probably fucked. Uh, but yeah, the I mean the pressure seemed fine. Um, at least uh, passable. Everything seems like if there's a leak, I mean there was a hiss. There's it is able to sustain some amount of atmosphere in here.
Alright, but if there's a minor suit puncture or something, we're going to be at risk of infection, but we're not going to just decompress and explode in our suit immediately.
You will
Probably.
not explode in your suit immediately, but you will have problems uh, from like from you're not going to be as protected from the cold and stuff. But I mean,
Okay.
just a puncture, yeah. If you were to take your helmet off right now, you would not immediately freeze to death in seconds. It would take at least minutes, but you would probably suffocate and be like unable to help yourself before you froze to death.
so we
Okay.
got to get systems online.
I think a
Yeah.
puncture in your suit's going to be the least of your worries, boy.
Okay.
Well, I will relay to the captain that the ship has passed its expiration date, it's gone moldy, and we should toss it out and get a new one from the grocery store. And then look for the power generator on this.
Noted.
All right. Well,
Isn't there supposed to be a AI system still operational in here?
Ship barely has enough power to run the outer door of the airlock. I doubt it has enough to run an AI.
No, a robot.
He's talking about the Ava unit.
Yeah, the AVA unit. Isn't there supposed to be an AVA unit still functioning in here somewhere?
I wouldn't rely on it if we haven't heard from it yet.
Would something like that show up on an interior scan of the ship, or are we not able to get that kind of information?
Well, you weren't able to do a particularly deep scan, but typically no. An android's not going to show up on like a life form reading or anything.
Right.
So now that we're inside the ship, can we get access? Wait, I got to get the power turned on first. Never mind.
So right now, you guys are in a small decontamination chamber, and on the other side of this, there is a window in the door. It looks to be like a vehicle bay, a cargo bay.
Is it empty?
I mean, you can only barely see inside, and there's stacks of um, like stacks of crates, but they seem to have been disturbed. Like some of them don't look like they're stacked very well. I mean, that's pretty much the limit of what you can see through that little window.
I don't suppose I could hook one of their power supplies up to the ship to run some systems, could I?
Hook one of what's power supplies up to the ship to run some systems.
If there's like a landing craft or a land vehicle, I don't suppose I could hook that engine up to the ship's electronic system to get the emergency lights running.
It would be the kind of thing that you could maybe hook it up and get enough, like you could jury rig enough to get the room lit.
All right. Well, that wouldn't help us too much. Onwards then.
It is a big room. The vehicle bay is, it's clearly going to be big. It's like a whole cargo bay with like a.
It's a warehouse on a ship.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this inner decontamination door does have power.
All right. Light button to open.
Okay. You cycle the door open, and this one is on a time delay. Prior to opening, it basically blasts the whole room with a spray. Um, and yeah, everything is very slightly damp now, and a whole lot more of that stuff's been kicked into the air by this spray. But now it's wet and it's sticking to the walls and the floor, and it's like after a few seconds, all that stuff is just matted to surfaces and no longer floating in the air, and the door opens.
Ugh, icky. Does it look like that killed whatever this was, or is it not something I'd be able to tell?
Make an observation roll.
Oh boy, things I'm good at. Alright, computer. Hey, look at that.
Yeah, you don't really know. Was it even alive to begin with?
All right. Next bit.
Okay, so you guys find yourselves in the vehicle bay. Yeah, there's pallets and pallets of crates that are toppled over. It looks like people were pulling things out of here, uh, during the evac, and there are supplies remaining in here. Um, there's like a big one of those loader robots in here, the like mech suit things. It's like toppled over upside down. Some crates have spilled on it, and yeah, one of the like little uh, lifts that they have to get between, like, if you need access to like the top half of some of these pallets on some of these shelves, there's like a little lift, and that thing's stuck with like the arm of the loader in there, and the whole
Big
bay is a
mangled
mess.
mess.
It's really like somebody took this room and just shook it up. Um, so there are, uh, let's see, there are 5 other doors. Well, there's directly across from you, there's a door, which looks to be another airlock. There are 2 like elevators, which appear to go to different decks in the side of the room. And there's another 2 airlocks on the far side. Um, the vehicle bay has like big doors on the front. They can open if this thing lands. Uh, and then on the back wall there are uh, some additional doors, and I think it's probably reasonable to just give you guys a map of this area before you get driven crazy.
Too late.
Reasonable.
You to assume I'm not already crazy.
There you are.
Ooh, neat.
What kind of ship did they say this was?
It was a yes type of ship. It had like a science bay. It had a cargo thing. It was being used to help set up a station at a alien world.
Hey, it just hit me. Was part of the mission objective to bring this entire thing?
Yeah.
Why don't we just drag the ship and then deal with it later with more people?
Well, there's still 2 people that we have to check see if they're alive or not.
Well, that and there are safety concerns. I
Yeah.
don't want to be hauling this thing through space if it's going to explode because the reactor overheats.
That's a very good point.
You hear a
And
clang.
it's always nice to have somebody else to blame for when things went wrong.
This is quite true. Additionally, corporate does prefer backups of all the vessel's internal systems and logs.
I don't know how to feel about this. I just agreed with corporate.
Even Dead Clock
See?
is right.
Promoting of synergy works.
I think I'm starting to hate myself.
Just like everyone in corporate.
If I start turning corporate, somebody shoot me. A lot. All right. What do we have here? A lot of crates. Are there any crates that are broken open that I can just peek inside of?
Yeah. There's several that are broken open.
I'm just gonna take a peek inside of some of them, see what kind of cargo they had in here.
All right. Well, the first one you check is essentially full, just to like all the sides of it are full with some kind of growth that is frozen over. It looks like this was probably food that had spoiled. And some, like you got like uh, mold growth and stuff on it. It's sort of were it not frozen, it would be like a sloshy mush covered in fungus. So now it's kind of like an icy mush covered in fungus.
Hmm.
Um,
Is there a crowbar nearby?
Not that you can see.
All right. Well, before we leave this area, I'll stop by the equipment shed then.
There was another open crate, and that one appears to be full of like large, like there's basically raw materials for like piping and stuff, just replacement parts.
but I need to know where
I'm,
the.
I'm gonna move this one off to the side by the door in case we need it later.
Okay, that's a pretty large crate. You probably need that loader to move it. The one that's upside down and has stuff on top of it.
How reinforced would the floor of this deck be? If I try and do like a push up in that loader, would that break through the deck, or is it used to carrying that kind of weight?
The deck is not likely to be affected by any weird shenanigans you could do with that loader.
All right. Then I will give the loader a quick one over, see if it's in operational condition.
Okay. You're good enough at this. You probably understand that the condition of the loader looks to be okay. But you also are probably smart enough to know you're not going to fit in that loader in your suit.
Mhm. Which means we need to get the engine running first. Shit. How big are the pipes themselves?
It's a large container which has like compartments for various sizes um, of like it has pipes and joints and it has fasteners in there, and they are separated into smaller boxes, some of which have burst open. So you have a variety of sizes of things.
All right. I just want to. Actually, I can just. Hmm.
That particular box is primarily, it looks like materials for uh, like doing duct work and like piping, not necessarily primary repairs, but important stuff.
Yeah.
You're
All
not
right.
going to patch
Well,
the hole with.
it was more if there was some kind of some problem with the O2 scrubbers being able to circulate oxygen to every part of the ship. I'd look for a broken duct in there.
Fair.
But that's more invested than we should be getting into right now, so I'm going to just continue my search for the generator.
Okay. Well, since we've had some people doing some searching, I would like, let's go ahead and get to this. So you guys have been in there a while. And I don't know if you knew this, but I'm going to tell you now. Your suits have a limited air supply. Now, you start with 5 air in your suit. You can fill that out. And then we're going to have to discuss, because you're going to need to roll for your supplies here.
Okay.
I am looking for the rule. I believe you roll the number of dice that you have, and you lose 1 supply for every 1 you roll, but I'm going to double check that. All right, let's see. Yeah, you roll a number of stress die equal to the current supply rating, up to a max of 6. And for every 1 you roll, the supply rating goes down by 1. When it reaches 0, you're out of that consumable. So go ahead and everybody roll 5d6.
I see
Okay,
Spook. Interesting guy.
he explodes. No. Okay, so it looks like you guys have 2 failures from the liaison and Spook. So you guys are both down to 3 air. The doctor's fine. And Jocelyn, you're fine. Okay. Let me wait a moment because my ping's going crazy. I'm not sure if I was coming through.
You came through fine on my end.
Okay, good. As I was saying, Spook and David, both of you have lost 2 supply to your oxygen. Your air supply is now 3.
You don't take slower breaths. You're using up all your air.
Why don't you guys turn on life support already?
Because
All
the
right, guys.
generator's busted, or the power system's busted, and we need to find one or both before we can get to them.
Do we have short range radios to communicate with each other via suits? Or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone has a like a comm headset in their suit.
Because otherwise, in space, nobody could hear you scream.
All right. I'm gonna try to find. I don't know if we have a map of the ship or not.
You have a map of the deck you are on because you can see most of it from where you are.
Yeah, I need to find out where the pods are. I gotta find out if the pods
That
are alive.
I gotta step away for a moment.
that top left corner, that ramp thing, is that stairs to another deck?
Top left corner, that ramp thing. No, there are two elevators that go to the other deck. They're the ones with the up and down arrows and the horizontal lines. The thing that looks like a ramp with the high end on the left is an airlock door.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the elevator then.
okay. Which elevator do you use? Left or right?
Which one looks to be in better condition?
Do they
The hmm?
Do
Do
the
they have
elevator
power?
even have power? Yes. Because if not,
Uh,
we can't leave this room without getting power started.
the lights in the elevator are on. The emergency lights, anyway.
All right, engineer, is it safe to use the elevators?
Is it safe to use the elevators?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You're the
Uh,
engineer.
as the engineer, you would know the answer is no, but that's kind of part of your job anyway.
Got to get some power going. I got to get to the pods.
Um, so about that jury rigging power from the vehicles to the ship, I think I'm going to start with that plan. How long would that take? A few minutes?
Well, there is all the way by the forward hatch uh, where there's like a ramp. Having gone this far across the room, you would have seen there is actually upside down and covered in crates. Uh, I'm not going to call it, I'm about to call it an APC. It's not really an APC, but it is a large, like, transport vehicle. Uh, it's just not militarized, um, which is sitting in there. It's probably has a pretty substantial power draw, and you could, um, you could hook it up, but it's not a quick operation. It's going to take an hour or more.
How long have we been in here so far? Are
I
we
don't
likely to
know.
have enough oxygen?
With your digging around, you guys have maybe been in here 20 minutes or so, but the you had a probably some kind of minor emergency which caused uh, some oxygen loss. Something went wrong with the suits or with the tanks. You guys had two bad tanks or something.
Corporate equipment, of course something went wrong. Alright, I'll start hooking up that armored school bus.
So yeah, you guys have like shelves with walls of oxygen tanks, and sometimes when you're at dock, they don't elect to refill all of them. They just check the first couple, and then if they're all full, they don't refill the rest. So it might be that you guys just had a couple bad tanks that got missed. So anyway, yeah, you can do that if you want. It will take about an hour. It's probably going to be another supply roll.
We're not in a time limit here, necessarily. I don't think so.
We are, but that time limit is entirely reliant upon our oxygen supply.
You guys could refill. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, so you have
I'm down to 4.
4 oxygen. Everybody else?
No. Should still be 3. Also missed a
Yeah.
check.
No,
Oh, he's requiring.
you're making a check now.
I'm hooking up the not APC APC to this ship's power supply to try and get the airlifts working. Or
And is that still a 5d6 or a 3d6 now?
It's now a 3d6. I didn't even see what you were doing. Actually, it was still in one of your first 3 dice, so you still fail one. Sleuth. Okay. No ones. You're good.
I had my full supply before.
Oh right. Okay, that's fine. Who else was low? Oh, David was low.
David.
I still need rolls from those of you who haven't rolled.
Does Gilbert exist?
He may not exist at the moment.
Oh,
He
God
had to go
forgive.
AFK for something.
Okay. Mister, you lose 1 oxygen. You now have a 4 oxygen supply.
Yeah, if it gets too low, I'll just go back to the ship. I mean, yeah, I have no engineering knowledge. I can't fix the engines.
Yeah, if your oxygen's starting to run low, go back to the ship, and I'll just radio directions once we find the pods.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make your heavy machinery roll while you, since you've made your check. I mean, you didn't instantly like fuck up enough that you like blew your oxygen supply and couldn't finish. So, yeah, you're able to rig up the vehicle and get like you have full power to that elevator.
Wonderful.
Again, only to one. So, which one did you pick? The left-hand or right-hand elevator?
Does one of them look more stable than the other?
They both look okay-ish.
I'll go with the prettier one. If they're both equally ugly, I'll go on the left.
Okay, the left-hand one it is. To answer your question, they look like if you were in a regular, like if you were back home, you would think these elevators are super sketchy. But for a salvage job, it's not so bad.
This isn't
They
even
look
the worst
okay.
idea I've walked away from today. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you get the elevator on the left working. You can take it to either A deck or B deck. You are
Which
now
one?
on C deck.
Which would be more likely to have the generator based off of most ship designs?
Can you repeat that?
Which would be more likely based off of most standard ship designs to have the generator on it?
Why don't you give me a wits roll?
Ah, wits roll. My good attribute.
What are pre-gens made crappily?
You don't know. You know it can't be on this deck.
Yeah, hold. Pick a number 1 through 10.
7.
All right, B deck it is.
You exit onto B deck. Or at least you have now opened the elevator to B deck and you are able to transition to B deck. The door opens. There is a hallway. There are many doors along the sides and another elevator on the opposite end of the hall. Presumably to that other matching elevator you did not elect to power.
All right, I will poke around through these doors and just look and see what we got ourselves into.
Okay. To your immediate left and to your immediate right, there are doors. The hallway is, uh, you know, it's covered in debris. People clearly ran up and down through here. Um, and there appeared to be some frozen and desiccated remains at the far end of the hall.
Icky. Hey, Doc. Can you tell what killed those people? Those were people, right?
This is a people, a singular people.
Can you tell what killed that people?
I'm gonna do a medical exam and see if I can figure it out.
While Doc's doing that, I'm just gonna pick doors in order and start opening them.
Do we have vital monitors on ship for the people out there?
Yes, you can monitor the vitals of the people in the suits out there. Um, okay, so you succeed in checking this, and you determine that there was some blunt force trauma. It looks like one of these hatches fell on them, just like the there was a mount securing this duct. It came loose and struck this man in the head, and he became not alive anymore. And it also looks like uh, he started to freeze before he was actually dead.
All right, I explained to them what happened.
Well, this all lines up, at least more or less, with the pirates' theory. Engine damage, no life support. They were frozen about when they died.
So
All these people are dead, and
walking
there's
down the
probably no
hall to this corpse, uh, there's this hallway has two T junctions that lead to it looks like just another sort of identical hallway beneath you. And this door on this far end here, next to the far elevator, it was actually partially open, and you can see inside is like a bunk. You know, it's just crew quarters.
Are all these doors just bunks?
Examining the two on the south side, they appear to be. There are two more doors on the north side of the hall, which are sealed and do not have windows.
Sealed as in welded shut, or they just don't have
Just
power to open them?
they are closed, and there's no light on the panel.
Can I try and force them open with my thwacking wrench?
You're gonna force the door open with your wrench?
Yeah, use it
Yeah,
like a crowbar, or find a bolt to undo.
you may try. You may try to whack it open or open it like a crowbar, if you'd like.
Would this be a heavy machinery or close combat roll?
This would be a strength roll.
Got something.
Jocelyn had better get like all sixes on this. I swear to fucking Christ.
I got one.
I'm back.
So Jesus. Okay, well, so you successfully discover that there is no point of attack for a wrench to open this door. But you don't break your wrench, and you don't send it flying or hit anyone in the head with it. And yeah. Um, oh, you find a penny on the floor. So that's a win.
I'm entirely expecting David to go diving after that penny.
Yes.
All right.
We got to cut costs.
Wait, what?
While David's head is right by the door, I'm just gonna consider the plasma torch.
Okay. All right. You can consider the plasma torch.
I'll shelf that for now, though. Up to deck A, I guess.
All
This
right.
looks like it's all just bunks. Probably dining room. All right, back to the elevator. Come on, kids.
Okay. So by the elevator, you've checked all these south doors. There's another north door by the elevator that you haven't checked. That is sealed, or at least closed. And just mention that.
I'll see if I can open that, but if there's no button and no easy way to shove it open with a wrench, then I'm just gonna leave it.
There's no. Well, there is a button. It does have power, but it doesn't just open. The door appears to be locked.
Is there some kind of interface that I could use to hack the lock or force an override?
Yes, there is. There is an override panel. Like you can you can open up uh, the access like keypad or whatever, and you can override. That
I will
is
try
a
that.
Comtech roll.
Um, yeah, no.
Nope. All right. Well,
Hey, corporate, what's the password for your ship things?
AGR, what's the password?
are you going to tell him the password?
No, that doesn't sound like it matches company policy, but do I know the password?
You do, in fact, know some passwords that might get you in, but you can't be certain.
I have an idea. Let me try.
I will allow him to use the interface.
Okay.
And I might casually peek over his shoulder.
Prior to that, I would love for everybody to make some supply rolls for their oxygen. Okay. Uh, Spook, you're down to 2 oxygen. Everyone else appears to be okay.
God, for a second I was thinking all ones. Yeah, hold on, I got this. He runs out of air at the end of the sentence.
That'd be hilarious.
All right. Yeah, I'll start going beep boop boop beep beep boop. Starting to enter various passwords such as 12345, 12345
Password, admin, admin.
exclamation point.
admin password. Or if they're feeling really crafty,
Admin
password admin.
What's the year? I don't know. Door access.
Open sesame.
47 exclamation mark.
Open sesame. Open says me.
Do I get the door to open?
Okay, let's see. Have you made... Okay. I will tell you as soon as I find this thing.
Nope,
Alright.
not that password. That's not
So,
that password.
you do open the door.
It's open?
hmm
Really? They went with that password?
Oh,
Damn, these guys
congratulations,
never keep
corporate.
up.
So, judging by the way the room is decorated and by the password you used, this appears to have been the like either the captain's or an important uh,
Captain,
officer,
first mate.
a senior officer's berth. That's their is their bunk. And yeah, it's nicer than the other ones, but it's not bigger.
Hey, Captain, is this what your room looks like?
No. Mine's a little bit warmer.
Lucky bastard. Alright, well, is there anything lying out like a laptop or a PDA of some sort?
Make
Or
an
perhaps
observation
paper
roll.
information? Observation. Hey, that's the first success on an observation roll I've had.
Okay. There is a. It appears that there is one like clip of ammunition, but no weapon to be found.
Is it covered in that fungus mold stuff?
No, the room is clean. I mean,
Is
it's
my
disheveled
hand
a little.
is my hand covered in that fungus mold stuff?
I mean, your suit is kind of dusted in it. It's kind of like, it's been adhered to it with all that spray.
Alright. I will point out the magazine to the guy with the gun, because he's probably going to get the most use out of that. And then I will return to the elevator.
You do manage to get that thing to him without getting it filthy, because you've already touched a lot of stuff. So you've gotten those like that dust stuff all over everything else and not on him. So
Wonderful.
yeah, who'd you give that to?
The guy with the gun, I believe that was Spook.
Spook, you have one clip of ammunition for an M4A3 service pistol.
Yeah.
That's not the gun he has now, is it?
The gun he has now is like a bolt gun.
Mm.
Do we have an M4A3 service pistol on the ship?
We have some weapons in the locker, yeah. Probably.
I figure if we have a bolt gun, we have at least one sidearm.
I mean, regardless, I'm not the greatest with guns, especially guns I don't have. And I assume if Spook was given a gun on the captain's orders, the captain trusts Spook, so he gets to handle the munitions.
I'm
I
actually pretty
totally
good with guns.
Did the captain give you a gun?
No.
You guys know You don't have to wait around while he's doing stuff. You can go do other stuff, and you will not run out of oxygen as quickly, right? Because
Perhaps
every
somebody
few
should
minutes,
turn on the air.
Well, I
every
mean,
few minutes, I have to roll.
did he get the air elevators working?
Yes, the elevators are working. He left that floor. You're
All right. Well,
on the previous floor.
well, I'm going up to the to the storage pods. I'm gonna go look for the storage pods.
Perhaps somebody should turn on the life support.
Well, by all means, Mr. Passwords, go ahead. Turn on the life support.
I don't know how to turn on the life support. I'm not a qualified engineer.
Yeah, leave it to
Then you
Wayland
can quit
Yutani
your
to make you
bitching
use a
and let me
password to
work.
turn on life support.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so deck B is as clear as we can get it. So once the elevator's available again, I'll go up to deck A.
Okay. You leave deck B without opening any of those spooky doors, and you go to deck A. This is a long hallway. Again, on the opposite end of the hallway is an identical elevator door. Um, you'll notice that like on the north-facing wall of the hallway, there are two doors. On the south-facing wall of the hallway, there is one door. They are all closed.
Are they
I'm gonna,
marked with anything?
They have, you guys probably know the symbols. There's no words, but there are symbols on some of these doors. Um, the doors on the north side, in this case, do not have anything on them, but the door on the south side has the symbol for cryo.
Yeah, that's where I'm going then.
Alright,
Okay.
I will go in the north door that is closest to the left elevator.
Okay. Yeah. You go through that door. You see another hallway that leads northward, and it does seem like, based on there's some like ductwork and venting on this side wall here on your right, that the air scrubber shaft is probably on the other side of this wall. All right, now, Mister, you open the door and you enter a T junction. It looks like the cryo chambers are separated into three clusters.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start in the first one because I'm assuming they'll be in the same area.
Basically, there are three rooms.
Start in the first one to the left, I guess.
Okay, you open the left-hand door and you see a cryo chamber with many open and empty pods.
Moving on. There's nothing in there. There's nobody in there.
Okay, is anybody else doing anything during this time?
I'm still observing, monitoring the situation outside, see if anything changes.
I'm just going to promote more synergy and redirect workflow.
Okay, while you're doing that, make an oxygen roll.
I'm going to continue my search for the generator.
Yep.
I'm still keeping a lookout in the space around the vessel while Holt is on the ship interior scan.
Actually, wait, guys, do we have a way to get more oxygen?
Yeah, you
coming
can-
back.
Yeah,
You
go
can come back to the ship.
Yeah, and redo your oxygen.
Yeah, you're down to two oxygen.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave and get more oxygen.
Is there a way I can broadcast to everybody that's not David and ask that they take longer than they have to replace his oxygen tank?
Okay, so David, you begin your journey back to go get more oxygen. We'll get back to you in a minute. Okay. Jocelyn, Yeah, there's a hallway, there's a door to the north side. Again, there's access, it looks like, to the air scrubber shaft uh, on your right-hand side. Um, through like uh, through you'd have to crawl, and you're probably not going to fit through there in your suit.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the other door then, and hope it's the generator and not the bridge.
Okay, you open the north door and you see another hallway. It leads like east-west. There's a bunch of doors in this hallway. The short version is to tell you that there are two doors on the north end that are labeled uh, with like the symbol for uh, like the mother system.
Would the mother system be able to get the generator running, or is that something I would have to do at the generator itself?
If it's off, mother could turn it on, but if it's broken, mother can't fix it.
Alright, I will go to the mother room then.
Okay, you approach the mother room. Um, yeah. So, Bishop, are you doing anything?
Well, I looked in the first room and there was nothing in it, so I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Okay, you move to the second room. In this room, there is there are some like there are like medical trays and tables sitting around, and it looks like there's a gurney that's been knocked over, and there are two pods that are closed.
They look like I'm gonna go over there. They look like they got somebody in them, and if they do, what's the
These
readout?
these two pods have dim light. They're dimly lit, and there is a panel on the uh, like on the front of the pod, but it does not have any lighting on it. The status displays are not operating. The amount of light, it doesn't look like they are obviously dead or decaying, uh, but it's hard to tell past that.
Uh, I'm gonna check the last room just to be certain, and then I'm gonna signal the captain.
Okay, this room appears to be locked. There is a window you can see inside. It looks like all the pods are open. The ones you can see, there is a central pillar, so I guess you can't see the far side, but it's locked.
Go back to the one that's got the two in it. I'm gonna signal the captain and tell him that I found the two pods, but I can't get a reading on whether the people are alive or not.
All right. Well, that seems like a lot of random medical shit we saw on your camera there. Uh, Looking at the people in the pods, do they look injured?
The lights are too dim to make out. I can't tell, and the face and the displays are dim, and the displays are off. It's got low power, so I don't know if they're in sleep or not.
Use your suit's light. Does he have access to a suit light?
He has his suit light. You can make an observation roll to check the bodies. Okay. So there's some glare from, shining your flashlight through glass, but it does look like there is some like these guys were hastily patched up and frozen. At least one of them has some like signs of head trauma. His head's bandaged. The other one looks like he might have some other stuff going on.
They look like they were injured and then put into stasis. I can't tell the depths of their injuries without getting them out, and I can't get them out until we get power restored.
Yeah. Jocelyn, status on restoring power and life support?
I'm checking with the mother system.
Now, fuck the mother system. Go to the generator to get it on. I don't care about their systems control system.
Haven't found the generator yet, but if it's not broken, the mother can just flip the switch. I'm right at the mother, anyways.
If we have the map of the ship, we should know where the generators are, right?
Yeah, didn't we get a map of the ship when they told us, the ship we're going to go to?
Did not give you a map of the ship.
It's corporate, of course they wouldn't.
Fucking course.
What'd you expect?
It's,
Corporate to be helpful? Why do you think I sent David back?
It's like trade secret.
Well, hey, I'm
good.
a Roland Yutani pilot. Would I know where the generator is on a ship of this model?
Well, this model is pretty old, but time is weird when people are in like cryosleep for a long time. So I'll say you would probably have a vague idea that it's not at the front of the ship where Jocelyn has elected to go.
Jocelyn, if you're looking for the generator directly, try the aft.
Which deck?
That's a good question.
You would also all probably know that, usually technical stuff, habitation, and like command are going to be on like A and B decks. C deck might have like it might have some of that stuff. You've got your but you didn't have access, like the elevator's not.
For life support systems, I would start on A deck and work your way down.
Yeah, well, we landed on C and decided to work our way up. And now I'm at the front of A deck, and Doc went to the back of A deck.
I see. Perhaps this is an issue where I have misspoke, or perhaps it's an issue where I was misheard, or perhaps it is just an issue where I should have posted this piece of the map.
Oh.
So is everyone on D deck, or is Bishop on A deck?
So, all right.
So we skipped C deck is what I'm seeing from this.
To explain, yes, Bishop is on A deck, as is Jocelyn. You guys explored the living areas on B deck a little bit. You have been through most of the you walked across the vehicle bay. You didn't explore all the rooms on D, but you've seen most of D because it's all one room.
Bishop, while you're on A deck, try looking in the back for the generator systems.
Sure, I guess. Like, I know what that stuff is, but I'll look.
I mean,
it should be pretty obvious. It should have labels, power, electrical symbols.
Bishop, you would know there's no other doors to get further aft unless you're able to find something on the other side of this locked door.
Alright, this is all I got up here, and there's nothing else but the...
Alright, if the aft is cryo on deck A, go down to deck B, Jocelyn. It's probably down there.
Yeah, just keep working your way down. It should be near that end of the ship.
Deck B was all bunks, wasn't it?
Deck C?
Well, you kind of abandoned Deck B after exploring only a handful of rooms.
Check the aft on B.
And I'll go back to deck B.
Okay. Deck B. You have many bunk rooms. The north side of this hallway has 2 doors which are sealed. And then to the south is like another section of hallway that you haven't really messed with.
Okay, that's what I missed. I thought that was just another row of doors that led to bunk beds for the bulk of the crew. I will check that southern hallway.
Okay. Southern hallway, there's a door with a locked access panel. Label on it looks like it's a science lab. There's also a med lab on the opposite side. And then in the middle, but sort of towards the left, there is another door that seems to lead into a hallway. Yeah.
I'll go over there then.
Okay. Yeah, that hallway goes down, and I'm sorry, that med lab, that was a window in the hallway you were in before. The door is in this section of hallway, and there's another door on the south end of this hall.
Does the southern door open?
The door does not have power, but there is so this is it's clearly on the other side of this door. There's like a T-junction. There's a door south of it and more hallway going off to the right.
Can I force it open?
Possibly. But before you do, David is returning to the ship. So, firstly, everyone needs to make an oxygen roll while he's making his walk,
Including me?
including you. You're still on, like, you're still in a suit.
Triple ones. Damn it.
Damn. Oh, whoops. Alright, down to 3.
Yep, Doc as well.
Hey, Jocelyn, is there a time frame on that power? Because I'm standing here looking at these bodies and burning oxygen. What do you got over there?
Well, some
So,
jackass decided that to get to the power, you need power. So give me a minute. Either that or I'm
all right,
looking
so
on the wrong
David,
deck.
you've made it. You're in the elevator. It's getting close to the bottom.
Wait, what?
You're in the elevator. It's getting close to the bottom. Oh, you never went to. No, you did go up
We sent
to
David back
to
on
the.
deck B.
Yeah, you were still on B, right? You were still on B. You never went to A.
He opened the door, we found the pistol magazine, and then he went back.
Yeah, I went beep, boop, boop. Okay, I'm gonna get more air.
Yeah. So by now, yeah, you've probably made it through the elevator then, and you're like halfway across the vehicle bay. It big is a big room.
How far until I
Alright.
get back to the ship? Like, through, like, how much ship until I get back to the ship?
Not much. You're gonna be making one more roll unless something horrible stops you.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. So,
Something horrible stops me?
Not yet.
what is everyone doing? I know what David's doing.
Forcing the
Bishop.
door open.
Okay. Bishop.
Oh, it's another air roll.
No, I mean, did you make your air roll already
Yeah, I already made it. I
from a
went down
minute
more.
ago?
Yeah, I went down more.
Yeah. What are you doing though?
I'm still waiting on power. If not much I can do with these bodies until I can get power to get them out.
Jocelyn?
Trying to force this door open.
Okay, go ahead and we'll call it a heavy machinery roll. Yeah, that's what it is.
Fuck it. I'm gonna push it.
Okay. Push it to the limit. Okay.
1 in 6 chance my ass.
You feeling a little stressed?
Stress point.
All right. So yeah, you get the door open. So there's a hallway here that leads off to the right, and another door to your south. This hallway that leads to the right, it looks like there's an entry to the science lab here. There's science labs 1 and 2. There's also an entry to a junction. It's a ladder that'll take you between all the decks. This ladder, you would probably know as an engineer, is going to be used a lot for maintenance purposes, so probably helpful.
No generator and no other hallways.
No generator, and like I said, there's one door that seems to lead to a hallway on directly opposite that door you just opened. But um,
I'll try that door.
yeah, okay. It also doesn't work.
Captain, permission to walk back to the ship before I run out of air.
Yeah, sure.
Back to the ship.
Engage in a bit of small talk with you whenever you're back. Ask if you guys need any help with anything.
I
Is
don't know. I think
there?
I'm the worst engineer in possible.
Just make it a heavy machinery roll, man. And everyone can roll oxygen when you're done.
All right.
Okay. You get the door open. It's a short hallway with another door at the end, and on that door there is there's like a label that will tell you that that's like the science module, which makes sense because these are the science labs.
All right. And then that's another air check, if I heard right.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a yes or a no for the air?
Yeah, it's an air check. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
I'm down to 2. I'm out.
All right,
I'm heading out. I'm heading
you're
out.
on your way out.
All right. Ladder down to deck C.
Okay. Did we get another check from our company liaison in here anywhere? I don't see it. There we go.
Sorry, I haven't entered it yet.
Okay. So, David, you make it back out and into your airlock. It begins to cycle for you. You're pretty sure the threat has passed to you suffocating.
Does this mean I'm refilling it now?
No, it does not mean you're refilling
Okay.
it now. It just means that the airlock is sealed and the chamber you're in is filling with precious oxygen, and you will be able to take off your helmets in just a few seconds, and you won't have to worry about suffocating to death. All right. Basically,
Yeah,
you're not making any more rolls. By the time you would make another roll, your helmet can be off. If you choose.
Okay. Right.
You can always elect to keep your helmet on and keep making rolls.
It would be funny.
Anyway,
Suffocated in an atmosphere of complete oxygen.
well, it's not complete oxygen. That would be dangerous.
Which is why it would be even funnier.
Okay, so yeah, the doctor starts to head down, and Jocelyn starts to head down the ladder. Spook, what are you doing during this time? Who are you with?
I've just been moving with the rest of the crew.
Well, they
Crew has split up twice now.
split up.
Probably going to make my way back up, still inside, but near the airlock to the salvage vessel in case the air starts running low, because I've already burned through 2/3 of it.
Okay. All right, Jocelyn. It seems like everyone else is starting to leave the vessel, so we'll focus on you. Yeah, so you make your way down the ladder to deck C, you said.
Yes.
Okay. There is a door on the north and on the south and on the east and on the west side of this junction. You'll notice the south door has a little icon on it that looks here, let me see if I can.
couple of lightning bolts.
Here, I'll just see if this is helpful at all. The south door has a little tiny icon. It looks a little like that.
That looks dangerous. I should avoid that.
Their suits have Geiger counters in them, right?
Yes, but they don't tell them, they tell you.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Wait, so it doesn't tell the occupant of the suit, it goes to me?
Yeah.
Alright, am I picking up any rads coming out of there? From what's his name's suit? Spook's character?
No more than usual.
What is the name of Spook's character, by the way?
Didn't actually come up with one. Let's go with
Ghost.
Milo Cathcart. There we go.
We already have two different characters named after synthetics. We've got Bishop and David.
Yeah, let's just go with Milo Cathcart.
Alright. Milo, I'm not picking up any rads coming out of there. You should be safe to enter.
That's not incredibly reassuring, but okay.
Well, if I do pick up any, I'll tell you. Eventually.
Ass. I'll open the door.
Okay. There is a hallway. There is one door on the south side of this hallway that is the door that is clearly pertinent, since the other two doors seem to lead back up to hallways that junction with that room you were just in. And this door also has the same label on it.
You'll let me know if I start picking up any rads from them, right?
You're definitely picking up a small number of rads on Jocelyn's.
But
it's,
more than usual?
It's what you might expect from someone approaching, an operating reactor where the safety tolerances are, maybe a little lax.
Hmm. So like a Weyland-Yutani ship, is what you're saying.
Yeah. One that's
Fallout
Wouldn't that
plus
be
one
the power
rack.
room, though? Aren't these nuclear-powered ships? Wouldn't that be the power room?
Yep. Jocelyn,
Yeah,
it
that's
should be
my
through there. I'll let you know if you get into the danger zone.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be sure to tell you if I get any warm, fuzzy feelings inside, because it sure as hell isn't going to be friendship. I'll open this.
Okay. You open the door. You enter the reactor relay control room.
Does it seem to be in working order?
Yes, this room appears to be in working order, and there is, there's like a set of like control panels and monitoring stations here.
Of course, it wouldn't just be an on-off switch. All right, I will take a gander.
Okay. So, go ahead and make a ComTech roll.
Can I help with this remotely while watching?
Yes, but I will be keeping in mind the fact that you're in like 380 or like 320p.
Oh
Could
yeah,
I
okay.
also help in any way I can? Being the
I'm not sure.
technician.
I'm not sure it's going to be substantially better because you're both looking at the same feed.
Holt, this is far more your speed. I'm a grease monkey, not a nuclear engineer.
Actually, I'll let Holt supervise on this one. He knows what he's doing.
Okay, that is probably a slightly better boost.
Push that.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right. One moment.
Wow, this is
Obviously, he's
fucked up.
distressed.
Well, doesn't helping decrease the difficulty by 1? I'm not sure how that works. There's like this modification, but it's like modification to what?
It's how many like successes you need. Normally it's
Oh.
1. If it's super hard, you might need more than 1. This is what you hear.
Holt. Holt, what's that noise?
Get out of there! For fuck's sake! I pull open the manual. Yeah, so I'm running over to
We can't stop this?
the hang. Yeah, I'm running over to the
You can
thing. I
try.
suggest fucking off. I suggest fucking off. You're not paid enough to deal with that shit. Tell everyone to
So,
fuck off.
Oh
Holt,
my
you would
god.
probably know. Holt, you would probably know with people scattered all over the ship, the chances of getting away from this, like
Slim
you
to
have to
none.
make it to safe distance. So, like unless you're gonna leave half of them behind, the chances are good you're gonna need to disarm them.
Is this
Sake, am I-
being
Holt.
is this broadcast throughout the ship?
Yes,
God damn
very
it.
loudly.
I'm fucking off to the salvage vessel.
Yeah. Holt, suit up, go over there and disarm this.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
We'll get me a swig of coffee.
Refill my tanks.
No, not even. There's no time. Fuck that. Yeah.
I was just running.
So
I'm not
you'll
even
have
there
to-
to interact with you.
I'm on the intercoms.
All right, I'm going to make this as clear as I can. I'm not going to fuss with too much. I will say that the time you have to do this is really tight. So I'm just going to not look. I'm going to purposefully not look at how long it's supposed to take you to put on one of those suits. And we're going to assume you do this the fastest you've ever done it in your
Oh,
goddamn
Lord.
life. Okay?
Back the ship up. Let's get the hell out of here.
I'm going to
You're going
try
to
to
have
contain the situation.
because it's been mapped. You've seen the route. You can get there much quicker than Jocelyn did. and I will give you the opportunity, one opportunity, to unfuck this.
By the way, as soon as Holt's confirmed on the salvage ship, has anyone returned from the target ship?
Yes, David has returned from the target ship.
Okay.
Doctor's on the way back.
Yeah, I know people are on their way back, but apparently no one's made it yet. As soon as Holt's on the ship, I'm basically saying, do we have how much time do we need to get to minimum safe distance?
That
I would
alarm
assume all of it.
blaring starts by saying you have 10 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Right. How long Yuri? How long would it take us to get to minimum safe distance?
How long would it take me to do that, including the time to undock from this ship?
No, we'll just lock the airlock and fly away if we have to.
Yeah, actually, what is the absolute minimum time it would take me to do that?
The absolute bare minimum time, if you just absolutely punch it in reverse, is not very long. It's probably about 30 seconds.
So I adjust the comms so that Holt doesn't receive this. But I tell everyone else to double time it back to the ship, because if that timer hits 30, we are leaving. And if you're not on the ship, you're not. I figure Holt doesn't need the pressure.
Yeah.
How much am I getting paid to risk my life?
I'm going to mention...
I'm going to be very nice and not make a fuss out of it like my character would have. Because
I'll stay in
right
the
here.
reactor to help Holt when he gets here.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't think we get paid if the ship blows up. That's kind of an
Yeah,
incentive for
don't
Holt
die.
to fix the
You don't
problem.
die. I would not take this risk. But let's continue.
You're not actually obligated. You are welcome to try to talk Jocelyn through this if you'd like. From the comms. But I don't know.
I'm a grease monkey, not a nuclear engineer. It's not going to be
so
pretty.
The downside
Actually, it will be pretty for everyone
is
else.
you will be much worse at it. The plus side is you might get more than one attempt, because once you get there, it's going to lock you out after the halfway mark on that timer. So you will have literally enough time to get in there and make one attempt.
Oh God. Maybe you should try to talk him through it from over here.
No, I said my character would win. Yeah, I'm going to do this
would
all the way.
Holt be able to talk me through the start of it and then take over once he gets here?
Not while sprinting.
All right. That was worth checking.
And that's when oxygen check comes up, and he rolls all ones.
Before I take off, I'm going to tell you guys where to find standard protocol for this kind of shit and where Mother is. It's in a big safety workbook. It's going to just be like, keep talking, no one explodes. Maybe.
So, yeah, you go ahead and you give them a very quick rundown on the checklist for the setup for this, so you can key it in as quickly as possible when you get there. That's going to help. I'm going to need a Comtech roll. And by the way, everybody gains 1 stress, I believe.
Why would I gain a stress? If we have to fly away, we have to fly away. Mission failed, but me and Yuri will still be alive.
We have to fly away, but we're going to end up cutting it pretty close if we want to actually save anybody.
Have I actually gotten back to the ship?
Yes. You made it back to the ship.
2 successes.
2 successes.
With me helping as I'm able.
1 success. Okay, so
if I'm not helping, I'll just get the fuck out of the way. Which is probably what I end up doing.
Opening the doors helped me significantly sprint my way.
So the alarms blare, and it basically says the option to override will be disabled in 29, 28, 27, 26, and then yeah. it clicks and the alarm stops.
Let's get out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't give a damn what that captain says. Fuck this shit. I need a breather. Fuck.
It's very, very clear that somebody was had all but one step already pre-plotted in for that, and your chief engineer bumped there's like a big heavy lever, and it looks like your chief engineer rested her elbow on it without realizing that it was literally the last step that was already half complete on starting the self-destruct.
Why would somebody try to
So-
initiate the self-destruct sequence?
Normally, you have to pull 4 of those things down, and you have like rods you have to eject in the floor, and it's like a big elaborate thing that takes a lot longer.
Yeah, the whole multiple key turns shit.
I'm going to be soaking that in my head as I fuck off.
You can go ahead and make an air supply roll on your way out, and Jocelyn, another one from you.
Could he restart the
Okay.
power while he's there, or no?
So as it turns out, it looks like they're like generators on. The systems just aren't enabled. Some of the systems are probably down for other reasons, but you didn't really stay long enough to check.
So the reactor's running now.
The reactor was already running.
Alright. I will radio the captain and say, Holt got the situation under control. The reactor was running before, apparently. I think I should go check in with the mother system on this. See if the mother knows what's up.
Well, why don't you get like the life support and stuff turned on while you're in there?
And this time, don't accidentally enable the self-destruct sequence.
No promises on that, Yuri.
I am going back to the ship.
The O2 scrubbers are going to need heat, which I haven't found yet. Otherwise, I would have to take my EVA suit off and, freeze. You apparently know the ship a lot better than I do. Where would the life support be?
I wouldn't say I know the ship. I just know the general Weyland-Yutani design philosophy. As for the life support control systems, it would probably be with the. Where would it be, AGR? Or where do I think it would be?
So it really depends what you're trying to It's a complex system that spans the ship, right? So it depends on what's wrong with it. You could definitely check the status of many of the components from that generator room. Some of them you might check with Mother. You could, and to repair it, you may need to go to multiple places. The air scrubbers are one of them. If you would like breathable air, that's where I would go for that. If you would like heating, that's probably more of a generator issue.
Yeah, controlling and turning on and off the systems itself, you should be able to do from the generator. Or Mother could do that for you if you were online. As for fixing them, that's a more complicated question. You would have to go to the systems themselves and perform diagnostics there.
If I'm not in a nuclear generator, I think I'll be fine. I'm a grease monkey, not a nuclear engineer.
Well, you are going to need to be in a nuclear generator to turn them on, because that's where the power is coming from.
I'm going to check with Mother.
Is Mother online?
I don't know.
That was more of a question for AGR.
You wouldn't be likely to know with any level of certainty, but if the generator's on, then it's likely that Mother is operable to some degree. It might be partial power. You've been out for like the ship's been out a long time. The only crew on there is in stasis. Like
Well, you could try contacting her the same way we do.
Once again, Grease Monkey, I don't usually talk to Mother. I fix the vents and pipes when they go pop and bolts are falling out.
I'll be able to, like, it'll just take
you
a few
hear
minutes.
you hear a sproing sound, and one of the supports for a vent in the bridge like loses a bolt, and the thing pops, and it kind of shakes, and the vent is just kind of like hanging, so you can kind of slightly see inside between the two sections.
In
It's
my
still-
bridge?
I just jinxed
Yeah,
it, didn't I?
Wait, hold up. In my bridge on board the Escorial?
Mhm.
Hang on a second. I need to check something.
Actually,
So you said this...
I brought the thwacking wrench with me, so you're going to need another wrench.
what were you going to say, Andrew?
I was going to say, I'm actually going to be getting off. I've got work in the morning, and it's late. Thanks for DMing this, AGR. It's been interesting. I'll talk to you guys later.
I get to